Hey, Alex here. I hope you're good. This is Pure Breaks Volume 1. It's an Ableton project file with various different sets, each of which are loaded with lots of breakbeats I have chopped over the past 5 years, compiled in one place with MIDI clips, so you can just drag and drop these into your own productions. When I started to get more serious about working with breaks, I saw the Pete Cannon video Retro Jungle production. It blew my mind a little bit and exposed just how little I knew, how much I still had to learn about making jungle, working with breakbeats. I was also hearing in various other music I was listening to at the time, there's a big gap between what I was making and what I was enjoying and what I wanted to make. So I knew that I had to kind of dig into the nitty gritty of break choppage, find my own way of doing it. In the process, I thought I would learn about all of the various different ways that you can work with breaks in a DAW. The main thing is having some sort of workflow or process. When I was just getting into this, I didn't have that. I hadn't come up with my own solutions to the breakbeat problem, if you can call it that. I knew I had to instill a practice regime, something that I could do that was manageable each day based on breaks that I could rinse and repeat, and that was to take a break from the Jungle Warfare 1 pack, the straight loops, and just work through one of those every day. I would take the break, chop it up, make a kind of channel with these various different MIDI clips, then I would make a tune with that. In doing this, I kind of explored a lot, if not maybe all of the different ways that you can kind of deal with breakbeats in Ableton. Chopping them to a simpler or sampler, slice by slice each individual hit of the drum, or if you take longer segments. This kind of simple practice routine of get a break, chop it up, save the preset, make a tune or sketch a tune with it, and then export the tune. It gave me like a tangible end result every day. I also built up a library of all of the breaks that I was kind of chopping in the process. This gave me something that I could review back and track my progress over time. And this is what Pure Breaks is. It is all of my breaks that I have chopped from those 90s sample CDs and over time sampled and chopped myself, like the Dennis Chambers Fatback, which I did on stream. So whatever it is in music that you're struggling with or that you want to improve at, having this kind of achievable, manageable practice routine, something you can do every day, be it bass patches, leads, pads, making tunes, finishing tunes, mixing, whatever, some simple, manageable, chunkable practice routine that you can almost repeat mindlessly day by day is what I would recommend. Something that has an output. So if you're working with bass patches, saving a preset every day in the particular synth you're working on, or if you're making pads, again, saving preset patches, always something to track your progress that you can review over time. So really with chopping breaks at a macro level, there's only really two ways of doing that, and that is either you're working with the audio directly on the timeline by just chopping it up into pieces, duplicating it, copy and paste it, combine all of those and then duplicate it again and vary it, or you're using MIDI or some other way of triggering segments of the break, the full break, or even right down to individual slices of the break. It's something I've covered it in videos on YouTube before and I do regularly on live streams. I've separated the different sets out in the project into, Amens has its own dedicated set with hit by hit and through. Now essentially that is either breaks that have been chopped slice by slice to a drum rack or a sampler. Each individual hit of the break has its own MIDI trigger. Or through, which is using a simpler to play back kind of segments of the break continuously. There's also various sets which are hit by hit. Now these are lots of different breaks, a lot of the favorites, Hot Pants, Apache, Think, and each of these has these MIDI clips, so which have patterns that I've kind of chopped and programmed in myself. There's various amounts of MIDI clips depending on how much I was into the break at the time, but I've included everything. Each of these hit by hit breaks has a master clip, which is essentially the full break with every slice chopped over a MIDI clip. Let's hear it. Nice, so that's the full break in a MIDI clip. Then there's various clips that I've programmed in. Every break has a channel strip with various different effects, including these crazy ones. There's a break EQ rack and a breakbeat massage rack with macro snapshots. Lots of good stuff to sink your teeth into. So the master clip can be used to program new patterns. The way I like to do it is taking the master clip over to the timeline, chopping up different little bits of it and resequencing it. Nice little pattern there, you know. Eight-bar clip, Command J, rename it, double click, loop. I can just drag this back over. Hit by hit allows you to kind of make things staccato by shortening the MIDI clip. And of course the set makes it really easy to just add in other breaks that are in it. Like that. Now I'm going to start a little idea with some of the breaks in the project. First of all, go to Pure Breaks Volume 1. I'm going to expand the RU and maybe we can put in this roughneck one. Now, of course, you can either just open the various sets or you can just pull it in different breaks. And then why don't we go for this one? Put this together. Why not? Nice. Maybe we could add a pad or some sort of melodic idea. Let's work with some of the presets from my Make Your Own Jungle Live set. Maybe another pad, why not? There's quite a few breaks that have got this like time stretch effect where I've time stretched the break in Ableton and then chopped it up and resequenced it at the tempo of the original break. Okay, why don't we put in some sort of pad here? Let's make this like 16. Okay, for something, try and make it plucky. I'm just going to copy this chord over, add some delay. Let's maybe pull this down and get rid of this. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm going to try pulling in some different breaks. Okay, and I'm going to go to the amens now, just to step things up a little bit. I'll demonstrate some of the through breaks here, some that are playing in simpler, an old school amen. So these have stop buttons, and that's because when the break is playing in simpler, and you have it set to through mode, it will just carry on continuously depending on the release settings. You can set that here, but there's also a stop button, which essentially just chokes all of the simplers that are playing back. So that gives a flavor of how quickly you can kind of get an idea going by just dragging and dropping the breaks in. You can also just open the sets and start from within there. So Pure Breaks Volume 1 might feel like it's an ultimate Ableton Breakbeat template, but it's by no means a comprehensive encyclopedic collection of every single break out there. I don't even know if it would be possible to compile everything in one set in a usable form. It's a breakbeat diary of my life over the past 5 years. I hope you have fun using it as much as I did making all of this stuff. You can find all of these breaks for free online, and I would encourage you to go through the process yourself. If there's anything else you're struggling with in music production, I'd encourage you to follow that practice method of chunking things out, repeating it on the daily. There's loads of producers whose break work I look up to, whose work just kind of blows me away, and I really don't know what they're doing and how they're doing it. Paradox, DJ Crystal. And this is kind of what I want to focus on next. Building my own breaks from various different bits of source material. There's still so much to learn, and there always will be. So this is Pure Breaks Volume 1, my ultimate Ableton Breakbeat template and a breakbeat diary from 2020 to 2025. You can get it on my Patreon, along with loads more other cool breakbeat stuff and things that you can use in your own productions, along with my series Make Your Own Jungle live set. For now, have fun and happy chopping.